Let's get ready to story! Oh, this is one of those names that nobody's... Whew! You are singular, sir. I think you know who you are already, because with that last name... And not that. Nope. Get back here, webpage. Nope, not Hank. Nope, not Pat Martin. There we are. It's Jeff Stolarcyk. Jeff, where are you out there? There you are. Jeff, there you are. Yes. You were over there before and you stayed there. Okay, Jeff. Your name, surprisingly, Stolarcyk is not a common name. Coming from a guy who's McGuigan, I understand that. Although there is a boxer who's a heavyweight champion of the world, it's no big deal. Barry McGuigan. He taught Daniel Day-Lewis when he was boxing in this film. It's no big deal. But anyway, Stolarcyk, there is no Daniel Day Stolarcyk. So what we have is a TV show that your name is referenced in. So you are now the Challenge TV series, because both parts of your name appear in this article. You are Jeff the Challenge Stolarcyk. You're originally known as Road Rules All-Stars, followed by Real World Road Rules Challenge. You are also a reality game show on MTV that is spun off from, and mostly cast contestant dependent on, the network's two flagship reality shows, The Real World and the now canceled Road Rules. Did you know that?
No.
No, you didn't know that. Well, I'm glad I'm here to tell you that. This is your life. The Challenge has developed a spin-off series. Oh my God, a spin-off. In its own right, the Spring Break Challenge. The Challenge and Spring Break Challenge have a somewhat cast-contestant independent relationship in that both programs have used at least one or more contestants from the other. The Challenge is hosted by TJ Levine. We are all the more wiser for having heard that. Everybody give it up for Mr. Jeff Stolarcyk. Am I saying that correctly, Stolarcyk?
It's as close as anyone can.
It's as close. The mic is yours, sir. Thank you. Do you need this higher? You're a tall glass of water.
Sorry about that.
I never apologize for being tall. I wish, buddy. All right. There you go.
Hey, everybody. I'd like to thank so many of you for being here tonight. Something that only my close friends really know about me is that I have a very mild phobia of large crowds. So let's rock this bitch. It's December 15th, 2012. It's 6 days before the end of the world. This story does not have a heartwarming moral at the end of it. It's basically just a terrible thing that happens to me near the apocalypse. So I'm in my mid-30s, and every once in a while, as those of you who are in your mid-30s can attest, my brain tries to convince my body that I'm actually in my 20s still. So within the 48-hour period that this story happens in, I've had 6 hours of sleep. I went to like a movie premiere at midnight. It was 3.5 hours long. Then the following day, I went to work for a full day, drove down to the electric factory, saw a show, got home at 2 a.m., woke up at 5 to go to the Poconos at 6 a.m. to get on a charter bus. Remember, I don't like crowds or enclosed spaces. My friends and I take a charter bus to New York City, which is great because it's Christmas time. And all of my friends want to go to Macy's. They want to go to 30 Rock. And by the time that we leave there, I'm frazzled. But I'm okay. We're going to take the train to Brooklyn. We're going to meet some friends for dinner. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to get back to the bus right on time. No one ever gets left behind by the bus. Every time that you take one of these charter bus trips, they tell you, oh, be sure to be back here right at 6 p.m. You don't want to get left behind, or we will leave you. But that never happens to anybody. This is how it happened to me. We meet our friends in Brooklyn for dinner. Dinner is great. We have like a $20 milkshake each. And we get on the train to go home. And none of us are rookies at being in New York. We have friends that live in the city. We're not tourists. And it's that hubris that causes us to sit on the 6 for 25 minutes as we go in the completely wrong direction. We don't go, this is taking longer than it should to get to Grand Central. No one goes, these stops don't sound familiar. And most alarmingly, at a certain point, no one looks out the window and goes, we are above goddamn ground right now. So we end up in Brooklyn, somewhere in Brooklyn. We get off before the end of the line, which just makes us lost her. But we don't know that, because we have not. So we try to get a cab. Getting a cab at like 6 o'clock at night in nowhere Brooklyn, not easy. So we get a gypsy cab, despite years and years of being told, never do that, Jeff. But we find one, and everyone piles in, and I go to get in, and the driver goes, no, you're too fat. I don't know what to do. I've had 6 hours of sleep. I'm about to have a mental breakdown. And I'm like on my knees in a parking lot of a gas station, sobbing like, go without me. Just leave me. Because I think that we're like 10 blocks away from where we're supposed to meet the bus, mind you. I'm like, they're gonna get there. I can take another bus back. Whatever, it's fine. So they managed to talk the cab driver and lay me into the cab. We get to the intersection that we're supposed to be at, which is a number street crossing a number street. And there's no bus there. There's like a tenement there. And we call the bus and we say, hey guys, we're at the intersection. Where are you? And they said, we're at the intersection. Bye. And they left us. And that is the story of how we were abandoned by the Judas bus. This is the story of how we get home. For about 20 minutes, we all panic. There are 4 of us. We have college degrees. We're professionals. We lose our shit completely. And finally, after 20 minutes, someone says, you know, we can get on the subway and just go back to Manhattan. We could take a bus. So that's how we end up about an hour later at the Mart's bus terminal. And unlike the beautiful and talented Maggie O'Brien, who took her Mart's bus at noon, we got on the last Mart's bus of the night on a Saturday. If none of you have ever had the pleasure of being the last people to conceivably leave Manhattan by bus during a given day, it is just a melange of broken dreams, crushed hearts, alcoholism, and us. And behind us in line, there were a half-dozen women wearing slutty Santa. I don't want to say the word slut because I know it's offensive, but there's no other way to describe it. Slutty Santa costumes. And they were drunk out of their minds. If any of these people are you, I deeply apologize. I don't really notice them because they're just leaning on things, laying on the ground, trying to chew stuff that's not edible, until one of them says, how is there a banana in my handbag again? And I'm not going to take a lot of time to try and unpack that for you guys, but I assure you that if you spend a couple of minutes really going over it in your head, you will go more bug fuck insane than had you peered inside a forbidden tome. And so she pulls a banana out of her handbag, and it's a brand new, ripe banana, yellow, delicious looking. She throws it on the ground. We're in a bus station. It's about 10 p.m. at night. People eye it with hungry intent. But one of her other friends picks it up and throws it away because she's socially conscious. I don't know who any of these girls are. I know them as a collective noun. One of them was named Jenny. We heard her name quite a bit on the bus ride home. So now all of them are Jenny. Indeed, perhaps all of us are Jenny. Jenny is like a monster, like a hydra, just spewing like death and fire and awfulness out of her mouth. We got on the bus and I said, we're on a March bus, but you know what? I can sleep now. We're not 5 miles down US 1 before I hear, Jenny, remember that guy you hooked up with? And Jenny, who is sitting in the seat behind us while her friends are sitting in front of us, goes, which I think means what? I think that guy was into you. And there's like a 5-minute pause. I'm like, okay, they got it out of their system. Now we'll all just... Then her phone starts ringing. And it's her friends in front of her prank calling her. Jenny! Because the phone has rung like 10 times now without being answered, loudly in this silent bus. Jenny, pick up your phone! Pick up your phone! She answers the phone eventually, and the 4 people in the front all crowd around the phone, and they whisper, 7 days. Which is a reference for the youngsters, a reference to the 2002 horror film, The Ring. Which is very timely and topical, I assure you. And it does not stop for the next 3 hours. I don't like the way this juice tastes. Do you want to taste my juice? No. Do you remember when we made that reservation and just used the bathroom and left? That was badass. Guys, who wants to go to Sheetz with me? I want to go to Sheetz and order 1 of every slushie. That's 17 slushies, which I don't think is an accurate number. And that was said at least 17 times. And so that's the story of how I spent the next weekend in an institution for lack of sleep. Thank you all.